Ready for a digital dive? You're listening to the GZ Chop Shop Podcast, the weekly tech and gaming media podcast that breaks down the latest news, lore, and more. So plug in, because the GZ Chop Shop starts now.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the GZ Chop Shop Podcast. I'm your host, Project Itachi, joined by my good friend and co-host, Warners. And as always, we have an amazing episode lined up for you guys. But before that, if you are new to the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you know when we bring an episode to you each and every Thursday. And also check out the gzshop.com and grab yourself some exclusive merch like this Fighter Unlocked hoodie. Comfortable, warm, well worth it. I promise you'll like it. And make sure to go join our Patreon and get yourself an exclusive code so you can get free shipping for life just for being a Patreon. Patreon.com/OSN Media. We really love and appreciate all of you guys who are supporting. And even if you're just listening, we love and appreciate you guys as well. So last week we talked about AI. And we kind of went a little bit in depth with it. So this week I want to talk about technology in general. And
Speaking of technology, I'm just very excited about this.
Okay.
I want to share something really quickly. I'll be quick. I won't go down a rabbit hole. Okay. I think I shared it to you guys, but I don't think anyone cared. No one ever cares about what I get excited about. The James Webb Telescope recently discovered
the other galaxies.
6 galaxies that are between 500 million and 700 million years after what we perceived as the beginning of the universe. Now, science is mostly theories, right? A theory does not mean that the answer is yes. That is true. A theory is simply what most of the evidence from around the world, scientists have been able to go, okay, I think we mostly agree this is the most likely thing. But the great thing about science is when you're proven to be wrong or something is so drastically off, it can't be denied. You have to go, oh shit. The problem with these galaxies is a galaxy in general takes billions of years to be created, to form into a functioning, working galaxy. All of these galaxies, all 6 of them, are up to 6 times bigger than our own Milky Way. How is that? That is not supposed to be possible if we're peering into what we think is the beginning of the universe. Because that suggests what? The universe is much older, and we're not seeing the beginning of the universe. And I just wanted to share that because we only recently got to a point in technological advancements that we could actually start peering out into the universe. In the depth that we are. And it makes the Big Bang not necessarily untrue, but it certainly makes us have to go back and go, something is absolutely not right. And it's going to rewrite all the books on physics, particularly astrophysics.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. So when we're talking about technology, I just wanted to share that because, our last episode was about technology and AI and how it's scary, but this is the other side of that on how it humbles us and is exciting to be able to learn things that we didn't know were possible.
Now, to dive in that a little bit more in depth, with that one being so many, bigger than our own Milky Way. If you remember, sometime last month, I made the joke about how we're probably like in that Men in Black situation where we're actually just a marble.
When he's flicking the marbles around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we think we're the only ones out here on our little blue planet, but little did we know. And the thing is, I feel in such a huge universe, I've never been a believer of the Big Bang. I just felt it was a cop out because religion is a very difficult topic, which is understandable. You know, like no one wants religion shoved down their throat if they don't believe it. And I can totally honestly respect that. But I also felt the Big Bang was just a very terrible cop out to the explanation to the beginning of the universe. Instead of just being able to say, look, we don't know. We're not religious, but we also just don't know.
Well, and that's why it's a theory. We have evidence, but the evidence just says it suggests that might be true. Mm-hmm. And I think people forget that because when they hear theories, I hear arguments a lot that, oh, well, you know, it's just a theory and no theory is true. And it's like, that's not what they're saying. They're not saying that they're right. They're just saying that they look at evidence and so far here's
a possibility.
This is the most likely possibility as of now.
Yeah.
We're not saying it's true. We're saying that's the most likely possibility.
Yeah. And seeing that there's those 6 galaxies out there, it makes me wonder, we're looking at them and those 6 are looking back like, oh, they can finally see us.
Well, and that kind of like, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but it is a thought that we can only see at a distance in every direction of the universe as us being in the middle. We are not the center of the universe.
No.
But for us peering out, we would be the center in that concept, because if we peered out in every direction of the universe, we would be able to sort of draw a map in your head, right? And it would be maybe a sphere, because in every direction we can only see so far out, right? And we would be in the center. That doesn't make us the center. That's just all we can see from our point of view of being in the center and from that aspect. So I've you know, I'm not going to go into the rabbit hole of this, but it brings up the idea of string theory and parallel universes, other universes.
I was just thinking the parallel universe
and multiple dimensions and planes and the perspectives of living on those said planes. Not going to go into it because that is a lot of information and a lot of stuff that I could talk about for a very long time, but it's just something to think about if for anyone who is interested in it, because these are a lot of questions that are being brought up right now after these recent findings.
I'm going to throw something so far-fetched out there. This is just,
I'm excited. Let's hear it.
It's just the Itachi mindset, because you know me, I love to get far-fetched because I sometimes feel like the most unexpected thing is what you should expect. When we dream, I've always been fascinated with dreams. What manifests them? Why do we dream the way we do? They say it's like a tie-in of memories. And I'm like, some of the stuff we dream about wasn't a memory. Like, you know, nightmares, you know, depending on what they say, it's related to what you eat, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the theory of collective consciousness when you're asleep. Everybody's who's asleep, their mind is coming together.
Yeah.
Collective consciousness.
Or that we're just processing trauma or pain or feelings.
What if when you're sleeping, your consciousness is reaching out to one of those 6 different galaxies of the parallel universe, and you're seeing things in a parallel universe?
You know, I've had some fucked up dreams, so I don't want to think that there's a universe out there. There's a song by, what is it? I think it's White Zombie, and I think it's called Planet Motherfucker. And I'm serious. And I think it's not an anime, but it was back in the 80s, and it was like a retro type of like cartoon that basically they went to these other worlds and there was just monsters and mayhem and chaos. Physics was completely backwards and everything was just, it was horror.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had dreams and I've been like, God forbid, I hope they're okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck else is going on out there?
I mean, for me, like, I'll have dreams where I'm in my current reality, but things are different. They're normal, but they're not my normal. And it's like, I'm me, but not me. And then it ties into the feeling of deja vu. Like, I've been here before, but how could I when this is my first time? So it's like there's so much we don't understand, not only about the human mind that we're still unraveling, but the universe as a whole. And we'll probably be long gone before they finally get to literally reach those points. But I can't help but believe we are not the only in the universe. And I'm a religious person. I'm Christian. And I sometimes think, because the Bible has been translated so many times and things omitted and written and rewritten pretty much by victors, that, yeah, sure, while, it's in my religion to believe Adam and Eve were the first humans in regards to Earth, which that would make sense. They were the first here. And that's the thing. Here on this planet,
there are already other theories about that too, man. And I use the word theory because it's so easy when we talk about these things, when you get into theoretical physics or philosophy, whatever branch of philosophy you want to get into, it's so easy to cross into that gray area of, are we leaning into just conspiracy that couldn't possibly be it, or are we leaning into something that is worthy of a thought, of a possibility,
of researching?
Right. And I think the difference between a conspiracy theorist and someone who is more philosophical about the sciences and ideas of the universe is, a conspiracy theorist tends to be very set in their ways. They're very like obsessed with that thing, versus the other side is the excitement of the unknown and possibility, but willingness to accept what turns out not to be true or false. The openness of what if.
Yeah. The what if, that's the thing, the big what ifs.
What if? And it's exciting to think about those things.
Yeah. But let us know your thoughts on that, guys. Like I said, that could be a future episode. If you would like for that to be a future episode, let us know, because I am sure Warners and I could make that a very enjoyable episode.
What makes these conversations? Sorry, I'm eating the cherry tomato, guys. I love tomatoes. What makes that a great conversation? I can't talk with it in my mouth. We have great conversations because we've talked about this recently, that I'm very optimistic. I'm a realist optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
And you are a realist pessimist.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes for good conversations, but it's not just that. You appreciate science and philosophy on the same level as me, but you're more religious than I am. Me, I'm very agnostic. Mm-hmm. I have no I love religion. I love what it can do, and the history of it, and all the different religions and what they have to offer. But I'm agnostic. So I think our combination here makes for very great, just conversations all around.
Because you get to see the different viewpoints. Like, we agree on a lot of things, and then we also disagree respectfully on a lot of things. And then we get to see how the other thinks.
And this is what happens, guys, when you have interpersonal communication, and you try to keep your humanity.
Yeah.
Go out there, people, meet people, have real conversations, agree to disagree, grow.
Yeah. You can still maintain friendships while disagreeing. It's not hard. So, still in the vein of technology, I got a question for you. And you may have heard of it, but I just want to ask you, and I just want your candid first thought. How would you feel about going to your store? Let's say you go to your Whole Foods store and you forgot your wallet. You were in a rush. You had to get your fresh fruits and vegetables so you could get your dinner, but you were like,
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
And you go to the store and you load up your cart and you're like, oh crap, I forgot my wallet. And the store's pretty much like, no problem. Just scan your palm.
Nope. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not.
Scan your palm. We'll debit your account and you're good to go.
I'm all for augmented human enhancements, but you are not. You are not scanning me for information in any way, shape, or form. I draw the line there.
So this is one of those conversations where, ladies and gentlemen, he and I will agree. So for those who are wondering what we're talking about, Amazon, at it again, have introduced Amazon One, which is a palm scanning checkout.
Now, what is it scanning? Because it's not having something put in you.
No, it's not having anything put in you. It's scanning the unique design of whatever hand you register.
No, you're fucking not.
And using that. And I have it. I have it up here. I will read this to you. How it works. Meet Amazon One. One scan does it all. Amazon One simplifies everyday interactions. It's free, contactless service that lets you use your palm to pay, enter, or identify yourself. The first line that got me, and I said, I don't like this because this is a whole new type of class system waiting to happen. No, because listen to this first selling point. A quick and easy way to make a payment, enter a venue, or identify yourself. Enter a venue bro, you're going to take your lady out for a nice dinner. Your palm does not register, bro. You can't afford this restaurant.
These palms register for one thing, and that's these hands being rated E for everyone.
Can you imagine
when the necessity presents itself?
Your hand, dude, guys, I want you guys, gentlemen, I want you to listen to me very carefully right now. I am calling this right now. Here's my pessimistic realism in full swing. You are going to start seeing on these dating profiles, your palm value must exceed.
It's going to tell you your worth.
Your palm value must be.
I'll go on a date with you, but I need to know your palm.
What's your palm value?
Bro, no. Okay, here's the thing. On one hand, I cannot deny that we're already in the system. You know what I mean? Like, we're already easily tracked. Mm-hmm. If someone wants to find us, they can. We have smartphones, smartwatches, IP addresses. A lot of our cars now, they have GPS systems on them. If the government wants to know where you're at, they can fucking find you, and they probably already know where you're at if you're a person of interest. However, I can take my phone and my watch off. I can burn my car. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're not part of my identification. They can be used to find me, but I don't need them. I don't want to be part of a society that says the only way you can function in our society is by the entire government knowing where you're at by scans. Everywhere I go, scan your palm, scan your eye, scan like convenience is great. Mm-hmm. But no. You're not scanning me with shit.
Mm. I mean, it's bad enough when you fly, you got that body scan checking you for,
and this weapons. The people get the government they deserve. Okay. Mm. And that means if we buy into a society that allows us the falsehoods of, I guess, letting us believe that we're free at the expense of something like that, where's the line? You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody's truly free. There's no such thing as true freedom. We all have to give and take. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you're not scanning my fucking body. You're not scanning my eyes. Like, if I worked in a top secret, research facility, and the only way umbrella, and the only way I could get in is to scan my eyeball, that's a pass. I get that. You don't want certain people getting in there just because they can swap a badge. Like, they need to know you are you.
But just to buy my loaf of bread and a gallon of milk.
Nope. The only thing you're scanning is these nuts. You're not. I went there. I'm 34. I went there. Nope. Scan. Nope.
And then my question was, I said, well, okay, card machines have already been outed that when you swipe your card, they keep that information for years before it's finally worked out the system. And every time you go back, it renews how long it's in the system, which is why a lot of people were able to get card information because they just had the card machines with all of that backed up information. And they just had access to everyone's credit cards. So, Amazon One is promising that they don't save the scans on a server anywhere and that your palm is encrypted and, all of this. And I said, okay, that all sounds good in theory, but hello, you act like hackers aren't hackers for a reason. I said, this is worse than your cell phone getting taken. When your cell phone gets stolen, a lot of people live and breathe by their cell phone. Yeah, you lose your photos, you lose your social media access, all stuff you can turn off. Realistically, everything on there can be shut off. Your palm cannot be turned off. Your palm is literally your identity. So if you go and you scan and someone comes up with a way to put something on the scanner that captures an image, because come on, if you got a palm scanner, someone coming up with a way to attach a piece of the machine to capture the image, or have an app develop that within the few seconds you've scanned, they scan you. If someone comes up with that, which let's be honest, it's going to happen. There's money in that. You literally will not be able to turn off anything they do. And then if they commit a crime and make an actual print, because we've got 3D printers, we've got all kinds of printers. We've got silicone skins, which, to briefly touch on what we talked about last week, silicone dolls that have been popular for years now, and they're becoming even more detailed, more realistic. You put AI in them and then boom, you're going to have silicone bodies walk around. Let's say we get far enough, silicone dolls have AI chips in them, so they're fully functional, automated, motor joints and everything. They can move because we're already working on robots, and they give them your print to commit a crime. What are you going to do?
Or the AI keeps getting smarter and then it becomes you. No.
And it becomes you.
No. What's that fucking movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the fucking
Total Recall?
Oh, fuck that. No.
So now they have your literal printed identity. And I know some people are thinking, well, yeah, your handprint changes over years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. That's all well and good. But in that moment, that handprint was solely registered to you because everyone's handprint is unique. So they're still going to come after you because you are the only person on the face of the planet with that handprint. Even if it was 10 years ago, it was still your handprint.
About to get my handprints burn the fuck off.
That's what MIB did. What was it? They had their fingerprints singed off.
You know what? I can't help. I watch way too much anime. I don't know how much One Piece you've watched, but one of my favorite aspects about that anime is how over the course of the show, you learn that pirates and the world government, neither is good or evil, but there are good and bad people on both sides, pulling strings, doing awful things. And it makes you question the very ethics of who's in charge and who is supposedly causing problems, and what is freedom versus, control.
And the other thing I'm worried about is, when will this start being implemented in phones? Like, say there's a bill coming and you don't want a certain card charged.
Well, you can already do like the fingerprints.
Yeah. But they couldn't charge you before with that. It was just to unlock stuff. So say there's a card, you were like, well, I don't want this card charged. I'll take that late fee. I'll pay it later. And they go, it's okay. We got your handprint. We're just going to charge your hand. Like I said, how do you prevent this?
You've watched The Last of Us, right? Are you fairly caught up?
Bill, yeah.
I liked Bill in the game, but when they brought him to life on the third episode, and guys, there's little spoilers here, so if you haven't watched it, just skip a couple minutes. But you know how like at the beginning when he was hiding under the bunker,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "You new world order motherfuckers,"
Mm-hmm.
and he waited for everyone to go, and then he got in his little argument
And he went
with his
to town.
partner, and then he was like, "And you think the government are Nazis?" And he goes, "The government are Nazis."
Yeah.
I've rewatched that episode 3 times just because I love how they
That
portray this
line.
character so much because he's
Yeah.
so fucking funny.
But you know, when he said that, I was like, you know what? I'm with him on it because
He was like such a relatable character for me.
And to be fair, Amazon has had government contracts.
Exactly. You really going to trust a multi-billion-dollar worldwide company who has constant legal problems, both between themselves and other companies and the government, and is known to have sold information and has been known to have countless hacking attempts, and you're going to trust them with the palm of your hand, literally with the palm of your hand.
You're putting your life in
I don't
the
even
palm of
trust them to
theirs.
give me the package when I order one.
And let's not talk about like the places that have like actual,
Which is why I don't even use Amazon that often.
Drone deliveries. That thing. And the garage door delivery. Like, it's convenient, but so invasive. It's so invasive. You are literally being 24/7 monitored by your appliances.
Like, if you're going to want to monitor us like this on this level, at least legalize fucking marijuana and all hallucinogens across the board and chill the fuck out on some of these laws. You know, like if you're gonna be that invasive, at least loosen up some other areas so I don't give a shit. But that would be a problem because you don't want people to what? You don't want people to freely think and have their own ideas. And it goes back to the last episode we had. This ties into that. Too much of all of this shit is taking away from our very existence, our very ability to think for ourselves and go where we please and live our lives. Be an individual. How much are we willing to give up of our humanity, our very humanity, and our very souls and our personalities for the convenience that these companies are trying to push on us? And you know how I know the government doesn't give a shit and they want this stuff to be implemented? Because we just tried to overrule the internet laws that have gone unchanged since the 90s and should be changed because so much has changed since the 90s with the internet. And the government shut that down and will not change the laws of the internet and let these companies be held accountable for their bullshit. Encouraging, again, like I said last episode, the lowest common denominator of society, which is most of us, regardless of how highly you think of yourself, to go online and keep spreading bullshit, making shit up, and spreading just this disease that we are through the internet and social media. Because we're so willing to give up the very core of humanity that makes us who we are.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Amazon one the same way I wasn't a fan of the Amazon sidewalk. Like, go get your own internet. Don't use mine.
that kind of went downhill pretty quick too. I think people caught on to that one.
Yeah. Like, you're not streaming and downloading your 30 gigs of porn on my internet. No, thank you. Like I get you wanted this interconnected internet, but guess what? Make your towers and make it free. Problem solved. Make your internet free. That'll do it. But yeah, when I saw this thing about the Palm Pay, I was like, oh no, this is too much. I like my tech to be external and stay external, separate from me. I've never been a fan of any kind of fingerprint scanning or scanning. The only time I did it and I knew it had to be done was when I joined the military. Anything outside of that, I'm like, why? For what?
Yep.
because you tell me it's for A and then it winds up being for B and used for C later. I don't like it.
Nothing that any of these companies are doing or ever do or ever have done to make profit is ever at face value. It's never just for they just want to make humanity and lives just better and easier. That's what science and technology should be, the improvement of our lives and our future. But it's at the end of the day, it seems to not be used that way. It's used for just complete greed. With them just telling us at face value, oh, it's just for this. It's just for your convenience. It's just to make your lives easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only positive side I could see to it is, I'm
not
credit card apartment. For like the first few years, credit card's not stolen. I mean, the person literally has to have your hand.
Imagine losing your hand in an accident and then some scumbag that's supposed to be disposing of your hand in the healthcare system keeps your hand.
Yeah, now they got a reason.
Yeah, or they scan your hand and print it on the silicone skin. There's too many loopholes here.
I want to know what information medically you can get from a person's hand. I feel that there's way more to this than just scan and pay, because every detail of our body says something about us, our health, our, diet. There's little details all throughout our body. Like, something as insignificant as pimples. It's like, hey, you need more water. You need to lay off the sugar. You're too oily. Like something as small as a pimple tells you that list of information. So a person's hand, how it changes over the years, not only is it going to reveal age, as you're aging, they get the information, they keep up with that. Sure, you might not want to update. Ladies might not want to say their age. That's okay. Amazon knows. And I'm already thinking of a million ways it could be used, especially with the dating scene. Not even just talking about boys, what's your palm value, but in a positive and creepy way, it could be used to prevent catfishing.
And that's true. That's a plus. There's going to be pluses to this.
Yeah.
But there's just, I can only think of too many fucking bad things that would come from this. And the very just invasiveness of our very lives and information. I hope
it doesn't enter the medical field, because I only see that going sideways. It's like, all right, we brought you in. Let's see if your insurance will cover this. Scan your palm. Oh, yeah. You don't got that right insurance.
Oh my God. That's a whole other topic too.
It's like,
don't even get me started on that.
Or would that be like a justification to give a person insurance? They scan your hand, and then through your hand, they can get so much information about your current health to determine whether they're going to give you insurance or not. And the only other bright side I can see is if a crime is committed in your name, it's like, well, check my Amazon shopping at that time. Yeah, he was at the store 1:19 p.m. Kind of impossible for him to be shopping in New Jersey and California simultaneously. But you will always be watched. Always. This is how they're going to keep everyone on a leash. Right now, they're letting us enjoy the sense of freedom. And you know why they're letting us do it? This is my conspiracy theory. This is my pessimism once again. Let us distract ourselves by believing we're making a difference. Let the peons be loud.
Or having fun. Everyone's just having fun. They're not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
They're just having fun.
You know why? Because now we're so busy looking at each other. We're not looking at them. We're not looking at the bigger picture. So we are not obstructing.
We're not even looking at each other anymore. We're looking at ourselves. And again, what other people are giving us online.
Yeah.
Through, money and likes and views.
Instant gratification.
Yeah. It's status. Like we're not even looking at each other anymore.
So while we're all looking this way, they can operate over here. And then when they implement this stuff, we just nod and go, okay, cool. Now back to my TikTok and 1,000 likes. And they're just yeah, cool.
Jesus Christ.
And by the time
it's
we
only
realize
a conspiracy. It's only a conspiracy theory until it's proven true.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's true. And then everyone like, whatever.
By the time someone wakes up and goes, wait a minute, it'll be too late. It'll be a full effect system. When you go to a hospital and your palm determines if you're allowed to be there. When you go to a store, because if this takes off and it could become something that Amazon lets the patent go out and be a product that stores and clubs and all venues could use, your palm could determine entry into places that you used to just be able to walk through the door. And me personally, as a black man, that concerns me because I can't tell you how many times I would walk into just a general department store, tons of other people, but security would be following me around. Now they could just say, hey, by the identity of your palm, we don't have to let you in. And we could come up with some BS reason.
Yeah, it can get insane. And here's a little food for thought for people. When we look at movies and books and theories, philosophies, and we get into the what if society did this to us? The Hunger Games, Handmaid's Tale, or like post-apocalyptic things like The Last of Us is a big one right now. Resident Evil and bioengineering viruses. We see that stuff and we look at these books and movies and writings and theories and we go, oh, that's just entertainment. It's just fun. And now I'm going to go back to what I'm doing because it's ultimately ridiculous. But then those same people will go watch a romance movie, let it get ingrained in their head and think that's exactly what relationships should be.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
Take a step back, people. Let's all take a step back and go, let's look at everything.
Let's look at, yeah.
And just be open-minded to possibilities.
Look at the things you refuse to look at because they weren't comfortable.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying look at everything and be paranoid or fearful, but just be open-minded and go, maybe I should just
be aware
that things could possibly happen or not happen.
Mm-hmm. But we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let us know what you think. Do you think Amazon One is a great thing? Do you think it's terrible? Let us know. We would love to hear from you guys. Hit us up on our website, osntechmedia.com. Go to the show page for the GZ Chop Shop podcast. And right at the top, you can submit your thoughts to us for a future episode. Also, hit us up on Patreon. If you love the GZ Chop Shop podcast, we would appreciate the support. Patreon.com/OSNmedia. Get yourself a promo code for our store, thegzshop.com, where you can get exclusive merchandise and new merchandise. End of this episode, can't even talk. New merchandise sent out all the time. We always have new logos uploaded, so make sure to go check it out. But yeah, these last 2 weeks have been some interesting episodes, and this is our reality now. This is our reality. So stay safe out there, guys. Don't jump on every latest tech bandwagon just as soon as it hits. Try to take a step back, think about it before you make a decision. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. Stay safe out there, and we will catch all you wonderful people on the next podcast.